Welcome to my favorite nonprofit radio segment called Nonprofits Care. Their causes are really extraordinary.
My favorite nonprofit, where causes are really extraordinary. Together we can make a difference. You and my favorite nonprofit, nonprofits who care.
Find out how you can make a difference at myfavouritenonprofit.com, where causes are really extraordinary.
You and my favorite nonprofit, nonprofits who care, who care.
Welcome back to our second segment of Nonprofits Who Care. Care is causes are really extraordinary. I'm here with my co-host, Lena Nee.
Good morning.
Good morning, Helena. And now we're here with a very special guest, Marcia Donziger. Is that correct?
Close. Donziger.
Donziger.
It's
See?
a tough one.
I know, it is. Say that 10 times. But Marcia is actually with mylifeline.org. And Marcia founded mylifeline.org. When did you start it?
2007.
Oh,
It
okay.
became a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Very good. Now tell me about mylifeline.org. What do you guys do? What's the purpose there?
MyLifeline.org Cancer Foundation believes a strong support community is critical for cancer patients. So every day we provide free personal websites to help cancer patients connect with their friends and family during the treatment process so they get the help they need and they don't feel alone.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like a blog that they can put on.
Exactly.
And everybody can kind of just check in and
Yes.
see how someone's doing and one of their loved ones
Yes.
that's going through the cancer treatment.
Yeah, and it's a
Well,
lot
that's
more.
neat.
It's a lot more than a blog too, which
Uh-huh.
I can share with you in a little bit.
Sure. Any more that you can tell us about it? I mean, obviously, we're going to go through a lot of this. And so, how'd you get started with it? Let's start out with that.
Well, I'm a cancer survivor myself.
Oh, you are?
Yep. I was 27 when I was diagnosed with stage 3 ovarian cancer. And one of the things I struggled with most while I was going through my chemo treatment process was keeping my friends and family up to date with what was going on. They wanted to know how I was doing, and I was tired of repeating the same information over and over, and I always
Right.
felt guilty that I couldn't call people back in time. I knew they were concerned, and they didn't want to intrude and call me too much.
But you didn't feel like talking and
No.
really getting an interaction
No,
anyhow.
it was a very difficult time when
Right,
you're ill. You don't
right.
want to talk about it.
Right. You went through the chemo process, and
Yes, yeah, I had
Yeah.
surgery and then 6 months of chemo that followed that.
because I know that chemo can be very deadly
Yes.
itself. My dad had liver cancer, and he did the chemo, and unfortunately didn't get anything for him. Actually, I think it made it quicker because the liver, you know, when it's going, and then you throw chemo in there, which is poison in your body,
Yeah.
it really made him have some problems. So
Yeah.
it's really sad to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate, I'm sorry.
I'm glad you're okay now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm one of the lucky ones.
So there's no more cancer at all? It's completely
No,
gone?
It's been 15 years, I've been cancer-free.
I thought that was last year.
I thought I was 27 years sweet.
Wow. You look very young.
Thank you.
Very good, very
It's the
vibrant.
chemo.
It's
It's
the
the
chemo.
chemo.
What I'm just talking about. Very good. So anyhow, so you had cancer, so you decided to be a great way to really help people by having a site that they can go to.
Well,
talk more about it.
that year was 1997.
Right.
So this
That was a while ago.
Yeah, a
Right.
while ago in the internet age. It's the infancy of the internet age.
Right.
So how it got started was a few years after that, in 2003, my friend Lori was diagnosed with brain cancer at the age of 33. And her friends owned a web company in Chicago, and they created this beautiful website for her, and to easily communicate with her friends and family, like
okay.
a blog, and I'd
Right.
never seen that before. And just the way, as a friend, visiting her site and reading her updates and not having to call her and feel like I was being intrusive, and that knowing she wouldn't have to repeat the information over and over again, she would write it once, or her husband would write it once, was so gratifying for me to be a part of that experience. It was so powerful. I knew that that was something that would have benefited my treatment process.
Right.
And unfortunately, she died after 2 years. She
Oh,
was
geez.
35 years old, was newly married, healthy, and was one of the unlucky ones.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yes, and so towards the end of her life, I mean, that website became a very critical way for everyone to be communicated with on what was going on, and for them to provide support to the family while she was in hospice and until she passed away. And after she passed away, I just could not stop thinking about her. And I called her mom about a month later to see how she was doing, and she said that website was our lifeline. And that's what gave me the idea that every cancer patient And families should have that opportunity to create that experience, to make it easy to communicate, because it's such a huge burden, the communication with everybody. To ease that burden on them, I wanted to do something. I needed to do something, and that's how my Lifeline.org came about.
That's a great concept. I really like it because I went to your site and saw that. I thought, you know what? This would be great if my dad could use that. We could put everything up there because everybody was calling, like you're saying, and how is he doing? And if you just put up a central location on the web, people can go there and check in, and they can put their prayers and thoughts on there. It really makes it easier for communication.
Yeah. Some people say they have insomnia because of the side effects of the chemo or the radiation or the medications, and they go on and they read all the comments that people have written to them in the past, and it really lifts their spirits.
Oh, that's great.
I'm speechless. I think it's such a great idea to do that, because you don't really want to tell people over and over and over again, because then it activates your illness.
Right.
It just keeps going and going and going, and you know, bad
Just
news.
Reliving that bad news is not productive.
Isn't that what Deepak says, that cancer doesn't kill people, it's the diagnosis and the memories and the keeping saying it over and over and over, calling
the energy that's created.
Friends and family letting them know, you know, you're constantly focusing on that.
Right.
It's what you focus on, you get it the most.
Yeah. And so what the website allows you to do is not focus on the problem, but on the love and support and encouragement that you get.
Right.
That's the focus.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've heard people that had like prayer chains, and all of a sudden they miraculously get cured.
Yeah.
Because everybody's giving that positive energy thought to them.
It's really amazing.
Yeah, that's very good. So how's the site work? Do you go on and then you can log in and then register your name, and then people look under your name, or how?
Right. So you can create a website, anybody
Right.
can, by going to mylifeline.org.
Right.
It'll say to sign up, and you just fill out a really quick form,
Mhm.
and you choose your cancer type, which is important, and I'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
But anyone can sign up, and it just takes a few minutes. You can set up security and privacy level to where you can really control who can get that information. You can have it as few as 10 friends and family members. I mean, some people have several siblings with which to communicate with, let alone their friends and family, and who do you call first, and just put it out there once and everybody gets the same information. So you could keep it a really tight, just your family, or you could expand it to some friends or colleagues if you want to expand that support network even wider, which we recommend. But of course, you don't want everybody to see it either.
Right.
So
it's up to you, so you got that control.
Of that,
That's great. And then what do? You have an email that you put in for the people that you want to know this information
Yes,
in?
yeah, so then you just email all your friends a link to your site. It would be mylifeline.org/Ralph, whatever your name is.
Right.
And you just email them that, and they can register themselves to get updates, and it's just a name and an email address. And then they'll get an update whenever you update the site. They'll get an email every time you update the site.
Oh, good, so they can know when
So they know exactly when you update, and you can go back and you can write a message. There's a calendar on there. There's an online calendar where the patient can post their chemo and radiation schedules. And in case they needed help, like a ride to the doctor, help with the kids. There's
so you can like post volunteer things.
Yes.
Right.
So that's why we recommend a little bit of a wider support network, so you're not just relying on the same few people to help, because it really does take a village to get through this. And the primary caregiver needs support just as much as the patient does.
Very true. So how do you get funded for this?
So we get funded through, it's a free service.
Right.
So we get funded through grants and individual donations and corporations, corporate sponsorships. And we also have a big annual fundraiser in May.
Okay, tell us more about your fundraiser.
That's a really fun event. It's a Kentucky Derby party called Jockeys, Juleps, and Jazz. And we hold it at the Four Seasons in downtown Denver.
Right.
And everyone comes there in their derby attire and hats and seersucker suits, and there's mint juleps, and it's a really fun party, and it's a great way to help people affected by cancer.
So it's the Kentucky Derby party.
Kentucky Derby party is live. Cool. The actual Kentucky Derby is live streamed into the event, so everyone's watching.
I was going to say, you probably have the race there.
Yes, and they're cheering and they're betting.
Oh,
There's
neat.
like little drawing for betting on which horse you think is going to win. And so it's a really fun celebration.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it'll be our 6th annual event in 2013, and the date is Saturday, May 4th.
Saturday, May 4th.
Save the date. Yeah.
Very good. On that note, we're going to take a quick break here, and then when we come back, we'll talk more about what you're doing at mylifeline.org.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, we'll talk to you after the break.
Welcome to my favorite nonprofit radio segment called Nonprofits Care. Their causes are really extraordinary.
Welcome back to my favorite nonprofit show. It's Nonprofits Who Care. Causes are really extraordinary. And we are here with I'm Ralph Grills, and I'm with my co-host Elena Nee.
Good morning.
Good morning, Elena. And also, we have our very special guest, Marcia Donziger.
You got it.
I got it, see? I knew I'd get it this time. And Marcia was talking about mylifeline.org. She's the founder, and she was saying this is for cancer patients really to have a site on her site, maybe a sub-site, for people to come and find out what's going on so they can communicate and not have to really bother the patient and not have them really have to focus on their illness. They can more focus on getting well.
Yeah, and I would like to bring up right here that oncology research does prove that when a patient has a strong support community, then their healing outcomes improve.
Right. It's
So
like
there
that
is-
prayer chain I was
yes,
talking about.
There's independent research that says that this works.
Yes, because the energy that if everybody is giving positive,
Yeah.
the body will respond in a positive way.
Exactly.
And that's what this is helping,
Yeah.
and that's so great. I commend you for doing this.
Yes.
This is awesome to help these patients. And then you were talking about your event that you had for the Kentucky Derby. Tell us a little more about that.
Yeah, so it's just a really fun party,
Uh-huh.
May 4th, 2013.
Okay.
You can go to our website at mylifeline.org to learn more information. Tickets aren't available yet, probably till January or February they'll be available. And it's a fun time where you dress up in your hats and your pretty woman dresses and seersucker suits and bow ties.
Oh, very cool.
And there's a hat contest, and it's at, I mentioned it's at the Four Seasons, I'm sure.
Yes, you did, but
it's
that's good to
such a
say
fun
again.
location
Yeah.
because it's downtown in the
Right.
middle of everything, and everybody goes out to dinner afterwards, and I recommend that everyone check it out.
Very good. And you said this will be your 6th annual event?
Our 6th annual event, yep.
How many people are you expecting?
Last year we had just over 400, so
Oh,
we're
excellent.
expecting probably closer to 500 this year.
That's great. We'll post it on our website as well at myfavoritnonprofit.com so people can come on and find out more about you. We'll be talking after the show about how we can do that. Very cool. All right, tell us more about what mylifeline.org and what you guys really focus on to help these people.
Yeah, I can share a little bit of the statistics and the profile of people that we help. So one of the things that surprised me the most was when I first developed the site, I was thinking about it from a cancer patient perspective, since that's where I was coming from personally. And to my surprise, most of the people who use our site are the friends and family members of the patients. So to give you raw numbers, there's about 82,000 people registered on my Lifeline right now.
Really?
Since the inception.
That is
And
great.
4,300 of those, 4,300 are patients. So that
Wow.
means that around 77,000 people are the friends and have not had cancer.
Right,
They're
there's friends and family
who care.
that come on and
You
support.
can't meet really anyone these days who's not affected by a friend or family member who's had cancer.
Yeah.
So,
Like I said earlier,
yeah.
my dad died of liver cancer, so,
Exactly.
you know, and I don't know if you know, there's a lady named Edie Marks.
Yes, I
She's
know
a friend of
Edie
mine.
very well,
Yeah, Edie's with the Colorado Cancer League.
Yes,
And last year they raised almost $1 million,
amazing.
just like $997,000
Oh,
with
so
a
they'll
total
exceed that,
volunteer organization, so
Oh, yeah.
100% went to the cancer.
Yeah, we
So-
work with the Cancer League of Colorado. They're
Oh,
a great
excellent.
organization.
Right.
They've supported us through a partnership and a grant,
Mhm.
because they also use a little bit of the money to provide services to people going through cancer now. But yes, their bulk of their fundraising goes to research
Right.
to cure this disease
So
once and
hopefully
for all.
that will happen.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, there's a event every year called Step Up for Cancer, which I know you're familiar with. And that's how I found out about you guys. And what I loved about Step Up for Cancer is what they're doing is collaborating with all these different cancer nonprofit organizations to really see how they can work together.
Right.
And you know, you get to learn more about the cancer and the different types of things and organizations like yourself because of them.
Yeah, they have such a unique event, the Step Up for Cancer in
Right.
August.
It's like 45 different nonprofits
Yeah.
dealing just with cancer.
Yeah.
That they all come together and they have booths that you can go and find out about their organization.
Yeah.
But also they're able to meet other nonprofits doing very similar things that they're doing, so maybe
Right.
they can collaborate.
There's so many nonprofits out there supporting cancer patients, which is the great news, but it also
Uh-huh.
confuses people So Step Up for Cancer really wants everybody to work together, because most of us have services that are complementary, not exactly the same. So if we all work together, we'd be that much more efficient for the patients and the caregivers we're trying to serve.
Exactly, because I think like with Step Up Cancer, they had a brochure with the different cancer organizations on it.
Yeah.
If someone had cancer, I think like the hospitals and stuff should give that out, or the doctor's office, saying here's the different organizations that are nonprofits that can help you with dealing with your cancer.
That's a great idea.
And they can find out about mylifeline.org, and they can find out these different things. And that way, right off the bat, they have the ability to have these services.
Yeah, and just so people know out there that there's so many resources to help you financially, to help you. There's free massage for cancer patients, free Reiki, free Reiki. Lots of things that patients can take advantage of, and caregivers, just to make their lives easier. That's why we're all here.
Yeah, what you're doing is incredible. Incredible. You're like an angel in person and your mission.
Thanks, thank you. It's been such a rewarding experience, and I feel very fortunate to be able to help. It really is my passion in life and my purpose.
Very good. And where do you see it for the next 5 years, where you're going to be going?
For the next 5 years, so we have grown from 0 people using it from our first day to 82,000 people.
So you'll be at the millions in the next 5 years.
Well, the fact is there's one.
Let's hopefully you're not working the next 5 years.
I know. Well, hopefully Cancer League will help, and
the
we'll
cancer's
have it here,
cured.
and we'll be put out of business. I'd be very happy about that.
That's a goal for everybody.
Yes, but if it's not the case, there's right now there's 1.6 million newly diagnosed patients per year.
With cancer?
In America with cancer.
1.6 million?
Yes, according to the American Cancer Society. And so my ideal dream is that all of those newly diagnosed patients next year know about My Lifeline and look into it, and if it can help them, then they use it. And if they don't want to, then they don't want to. But as long as they know about it, then I'll feel like my job is done. And
the key is that they're exposed to it.
That they're exposed to it, and also that if they use it, that it is really, really beneficial to them and their families. So every day we're working to continue to innovate our technology platform. So in the next 5 years, I see our technology platform being very robust and able to change with the times. Technology changes so fast. Things have changed so fast in the last 5 years.
Sure
to today. So in the next 5 years, we're continuing to stay on top of the technology and make sure that we're now developing mobile applications so that people can access My Lifeline on their smartphones and their iPads, which they can now on the iPhone. We do have an iPhone app.
Oh, so you can go to Apple and then go to iTunes?
Yeah, you can download the app for free. And that came about because we imagined someone sitting in the chemo chair getting an infusion for 4 hours or longer, and stuck in a patient waiting area.
Yeah, they could be in
and
there.
they're just on their phone. They don't have their laptop with them, or they don't have a laptop. Almost everyone has a phone now and a smartphone. And
except me.
Except some people that aren't technology advanced right now.
Who doesn't?
They sitting going, oh.
So old fashioned.
Oh my God.
Flip phone.
They talk behind my back. My girlfriend's like, what if we just get her one? And there's like, she won't carry it. That's the thing, she won't carry it.
Yeah, she's not going to use it.
They are just magical little things. I mean, I can't even believe all the stuff I do on my phone.
Oh, if you miss your phone, it's like, we had a guest last week.
So much more than a phone now. It's scary.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to lose my intuition.
Oh.
Oh, you rely on the phone so
I
much?
guess it's more important to be concerned with that.
We were out manifesting.
That got me unsurprised.
And we're like, let's find a restaurant we want to eat.
I'll lose my intuition if I don't have my phone.
I close my eyes and I visualize it. My friend's like, never mind, I've got my phone. And it was like, you ruined it. You ruined it.
I see what you're saying, because I've lost my ability to memorize phone numbers.
See?
I used to be able to memorize any phone number. I cannot anymore, because they're all in my contacts list.
Oh yeah, we get so used to it.
Right.
I've learned that the GPS, when the GPS came about, people have lost the ability to use their intuition.
For directions,
to know which way, because
Your brain just atrophies in that area, I think.
That's
what
true.
happens.
We are the human technology.
Yeah.
And we don't use our own technologies, and then technology will use us.
Right.
Well, our brain's a muscle, and if we don't exercise our brain, it doesn't work.
Right.
And so it gets, fat just like the rest of our body.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I had a guest last week that left her smartphone at the studio. And then we didn't get together for 2 days because she didn't have no access to the internet, nothing, because I had her phone. I was sending her emails. I couldn't call her.
Gosh, she didn't come back for it?
Well, I'm not here at the studio. The food was with me.
Oh.
So she didn't know where it was. She didn't know it was left here at the studio. She thought she lost it in her car. And her fiance said, no, I think you left it at the studio. But we finally hooked up, and then she got it back, and she was like, oh, I can't believe I lost everything once I lost my phone.
She probably regained the ability to have intuition.
Yeah.
Memorize phone numbers.
She looked like she came back to life. She was so depressed
Because
before.
the phone could take over and live your life.
That's
But,
true.
Yeah, we got a lot of feedback from patients that said, some people don't have laptops and we wanted everyone to be able to access the love and support that they get from the website, from the hospital or the cancer center.
So if they go to iTunes, what do they look up for getting that?
My Lifeline.
So it's My Lifeline.
All one word, yep.
Oh, okay, very good. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, Marcia, I really appreciate you coming on our show. We're running out of time here, but we love it. Tell people more how they can get a hold of you.
Oh, great. Well, they can get a hold of us through mylifeline.org. There's a little video on the front page. I'd love people to see, and then that can also help you determine if you would know someone who could use that help, or if you yourself could use the help. Or you can contact me at marcia@mylifeline.org, and my name is spelled M-A-R-C-I-A. If you've got any questions, I can direct you to the right place, or need any support, or have any feedback, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, is there a phone number that you're making a hold of yet?
I don't know it by heart, I'm sorry.
Oh, you have that smartphone.
If I have my smartphone right here.
Okay, I think we have one here that says 303-549-0405.
That works.
Does that sound right?
Yes.
You were serious.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were joking me.
I am totally serious.
After that conversation, I thought she was just joking.
You were serious.
Well, that's great, Marcia. Well, thank you for coming on. You've been a wonderful guest. You are awesome, and we love what you're doing.
Yes.
Thank you.
And this
Thank you for hosting this great show and,
Well, it's our pleasure.
giving people exposure.
Yeah, it's our purpose to help people. That's what My Favorite Nonprofit was founded for. You can find more information about us at myfavoriternonprofit.com. This is Ralph Grills, the founder, and you're with my co-host, Elena Nee. Thank you for being here today, Elena.
You're welcome. Have a good day to all the listeners. Have a grateful day, actually.
And this is Nonprofits Who Care. Causes are really extraordinary. Have a great day.
My favorite non-profit, where causes are really extraordinary. Together we can make a difference. You and my favorite non-profits who care.
Find out how you can make a difference at myfavoriternonprofit.com, where causes are really extraordinary.
You and my favorite non-profits who care.